What up, YouTube? It's your boy Darius. I want to thank you guys for watching. You guys could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me. Now, I really appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe to your boy, leave a like. If you guys have any recommendations, leave in the comment section. I get to it as soon as possible. What about I do right now? About react to NBA fans aren't ready to hear the truth by JxmyHighroller. Like I say, JxmyHighroller is an excellent content creator. You know, I say excellent NBA analytical. You know, you got to get what I'm saying. He's he knows what he talks about. The only thing I disagree with him is that I feel like he's too much of a LeBron stan, and I feel like he continued to try to convince us, that LeBron is one of the greatest players, it's the GOAT and everything. And I'm like, not really. But that's funny about LeBron fan. They always try harder to convince us that LeBron fan is like LeBron is the greatest player ever. It's like LeBron is great. He is one of the best. But is he? But do I consider him as the GOAT? No. But with that being said, let's hear what JxmyHighroller had to say. Nothing blah blah blah. Let's get straight to the video. Ha ha ha! That's stupid. Ooh. What? That's stupid. Joker can do it all. At least he can shoot and everything. He doesn't play defense as well, But he can shoot. He's the most skilled center beside Hakeem. It would have should higher. What? Look at Ha Davis in the background. Oh, damn, Ben Simmons.
The good old hot take. The necessary evil of the sports world.
Yes, it is.
The good ones, the bad ones, and the downright atrocious ones. We once again find ourselves racking our brains trying to figure out how some people come up with this nonsense. But today, I've done the brain racking for you and found some of the hottest NBA takes on the internet. So, buckle up. This may be a bumpy ride.
Yes, it is.
Today's video is brought to you.
Alright, JxmyHighroller, get your money. I got no.
So, it's been a couple months since our last edition of NBA Hot Takes.
Yeah.
So, despite my
Jack said he knew the liquor.
Still reeling from our last batch, we've got some new scorchers to take a look at. You'd think I'd know better than to peer into the cold, soulless abyss of casual NBA fandom by now. But I'm sick. I can't help myself. And I've got nothing better to do. So here we are.
None of us do.
Now this first one, some people are not going to be happy with. This NBA fan says, in terms of excitement, Steph is this generation's Jordan. And
I wouldn't say he this generated Jordan. I get where they're coming from. You know what I'm saying? He is the face. I guess you could say he's a face. One of the more popular athletes. But even then, I can't say that, he won the best player of all time. I can't say he's the best player today. Steph Curry is one of the greatest shooters of all time, if not the greatest shooter of all time. That is facts. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, what else I want to say? Well, that being said, though, I don't know if he is one of the greatest players of all time. I bet he is this generation. But that's a take.
Agree. Steph may not be this generation's best player, but when it comes to drawing eyes and attention and putting on an absolute show, there's no one that does it like Stephen Curry. The deep threes, the antics, the fact that he's still on the same team that drafted him.
Look at Curry. I bet you Flight would watch it. He'd be like, ooh, look at Curry, man. Ooh, he made me want to blush. Flight reaction. You gotta calm down, Curry.
All adds to the Steph experience that fans across the globe love about watching him play. This man has kids on the other side of the planet rocking his jersey trying to knock down look-away threes. This relatively small, unassuming athlete who wasn't a superstar recruit, rising through the NBA ranks and winning titles amongst giants. How can you not love the guy? Is there anything as thrilling as...
I like Curry. I'm not gonna lie. I like Curry. It's fans like Flight, man. Flight reacts.
Watching Steph come down the court. Defense absolutely scrambling, trying, hoping they can stall the inevitable. But it's too late. Steph is pulling up from 30 feet, and the outcome is already set in stone.
I mean, it's true, but also another truth is that not too many people play defense nowadays. I bet you if you was Steph Curry would have gone up against real defensive player like Gary Payton or like John Stockton or other great defensive player. I don't think he'll hit that many threes. That's just my opinion.
Long distance. Bang! There's just nothing like it. The fans love Steph. He's the people's champ.
They do.
And I agree that in terms of excitement, he is this generation's Jordan. Now, with Nikola Jokic making a run for his third straight league MVP, the man is on track to making NBA history.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
With all that success has come more scrutiny for his shortcomings. Some of these critiques are absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, that was ridiculous, you know what I'm saying? And I actually like Kendrick Perkins, but that was ridiculous.
Might be warranted. A couple days ago, Stephen A. Smith said that Jokic potentially winning back-to-back-to-back league MVPs, despite his lack of playoff success, is almost criminal, questioning the validity of his awards. And like many fans of the NBA, this guy feels that this criticism of Jokic isn't fair, because he's always made the most of what he's been given in the playoffs year after year. I understand this line of thinking. I mean, the MVP is a regular season award after all, so the playoffs really shouldn't be brought up in this discussion. But it is, and it always has been, since the beginning of time.
I hope that Joel Embiid win this year, to tell you the truth. Like, I feel like that year where he should have won, but one injury derailed him, and two, you know, like, I don't know. But I feel like, you know, I hope Joel Embiid finally wins, but
NBA fans have used the playoffs as a bit of a litmus test to try to validate or invalidate regular season MVPs. It's practically a rite of passage for any all-time great player. And Nikola Jokic should be no exception of this. Must we not forget, Giannis was getting eviscerated for coming up short in the postseason after winning back-to-back MVPs. Or when people called LeBron a choke artist for winning 2 MVPs but failing to win a championship.
Yeah,
or when Kobe was stiffed.
I remember this. You know, I remember a lot of people used to say LeBron could win a ring. This was before he actually won a ring. And the meme was just hilarious.
Possibly multiple MVPs because the Lakers just weren't a real contender at the time.
Sadly,
you can give me all the excuses in the world, and it won't really make a difference because no other all-time great player was granted any excuses either. If a player wants to ascend to all-time great status, he will be held to an all-time great standard. The man is on track to winning his 3rd straight MVP,
that will
and
be
he
incredible.
hasn't even made the NBA Finals. This is unprecedented. Now, is this criticism unjust? Maybe, but why should Jokic be spared from intense criticism when no other great player was? We've seen voter fatigue and narratives and postseason failures prevent countless players from winning the regular season MVP. Why is Jokic exempt from this same standard? Once a player receives a certain level of praise, no excuse will be sufficient in explaining why they haven't won a ring, or even come close for that matter. This is how it's always been, and I completely disagree with this take. Now, just a couple days ago, Damian Lillard put on an absolute clinic when he scored 71 points. He's still not top 75 player.
I don't give a damn what anyone say. Damian Lillard does not belong in the top 75. Not over Dwight Howard, not over Tony Parker, not over Paul Gasol, not over Ben Wallace, not even over Mutombo, not over Alex English and Adrian Daughtry, or Bernard King. But I digress.
71 points. The man
that was incredible. That was an incredible game, though.
14 for 14 from the line. He did it all. I mean, this was a masterpiece from Dame. But leave it up to NBA fans to find the fault in this performance because, according to some fans, Dame's 71 points weren't all that impressive since he did it against one of the worst defensive teams in the league. You heard that correctly.
It was.
Scoring 71 points in an NBA game is no longer impressive if you do it against a bad defensive team. And this take is so unhinged that I almost don't want to even address it. But I'm going to anyways. Now, I'm going to let y'all in on a little secret. But you can't tell anyone I told you this. Most big games throughout NBA history are against bad defensive teams.
True.
Surprise. Pretty crazy, right? Wilt's 100-point game in 1962 was against the Knicks, who were the second worst defensive team in the league at the time. Kobe Bryant's 81 in 2006 was against the Raptors, who were also the second worst defensive team in the league. And David Thompson's 73 in 1978 was against the Pistons, who were the 9th worst defensive team in the league at the time. In fact, this is the case with nearly every all-time big scoring night throughout NBA history. LeBron's career high was against the Bobcats, who were the worst defensive team in the league. Shaq's career high was against the Clippers, who were also the worst defensive team in the league. Steph's career high was against the third worst defensive team in the league, and Michael Jordan's career high was against the ninth worst defensive team in the league at the time. Wow. Even Donovan Mitchell's 71 earlier this season was against the fifth worst defense in the
That's true. And the Bulls suffered without my boy Lonzo Ball. Damn, man.
Entire NBA. It's like some fans have to search for a reason to discredit some players. Dame could have scored 71 on the worst defensive team ever, and it still would have been an incredible accomplishment.
It still is.
In front of your local youth league.
It still is. But like I say, it does not belong to the top 75. I don't care what anyone says.
Championship team, and I couldn't score 71 points in 39 minutes. Every season, every single player gets a shot to go crazy on bad defensive teams. There has been thousands of opportunities for players to use these bad teams as their punching bag. And yet, only 3 players have ever topped this 71-point explosion from Dame. This performance was historic, and this take is horrendous. Now, this fan here says Michael Jordan is sensitive, but he gets a pass because he's good at basketball.
That's because he took it personal. Yeah, Michael Jordan was sensitive, but hey, you know, he used that fuel. He used what he took it personal. He used it as a fuel, to be competitive. He used it to be like a better basketball player. You know what I'm saying? He used it to be great. Did that make sense, everyone? He didn't become sensitive like Ben Simmons, you know, as he took the ball and go home. No, he used it as a fuel to make it something better. Did that make sense, everyone?
And I agree with half of this take. Michael Jordan was sensitive.
Yep.
People will excuse his behavior as competitive, but everyone in the NBA is competitive. Jordan couldn't take criticism whatsoever. In fact, his famous quote is literally a statement of how things people did and said about him really got to him. But he didn't get it.
I took it personal. He took it personal. Oh my God! Let me
just because he was good at basketball. He gets a pass because every time someone pissed him off, he always went out and proved them wrong.
Exactly.
Drexler was his equal. He didn't like that.
Yeah.
So he went out and stomped the man in the NBA Finals.
That's
they
true.
said he wasn't as good when he came back from his first retirement, so he added that to his list of reasons to be an absolute menace and three-peated for the second time.
That's true.
You can be as sensitive as you want if you back it up. I think most NBA fans would consider Kevin Durant sensitive, but if he followed up...
I mean, yeah, he is. I mean, he's sensitive for a whole different reason. It's like he let some small show, like, you know, at least with Michael Jordan, he just let other basketball player, get to him. He didn't let it like some small, ordinary, average Joe who not even in the NBA, who haven't even touched a ball in since high school or even junior high. He let them get to him. It's like, why are you responding to these average Joe? You know what I'm saying? You're rich. You're an excellent basketball player. Don't pay attention to them.
Tweets with more championships and absolute dominance over the NBA for the rest of his career. Those tweets would be an afterthought. Now, our last take is a scorcher, and not even for a split second does it add up in any way, shape, or form. This NBA fan says, back then, we used to celebrate three-peats. Now kids are out here celebrating 4 titles in 10 tries and call it greatness.
It's still great, you know, winning 4 championships in 10 tries, it's still great. But like I said, I can't consider LeBron James as the greatest player of all time. You know what I'm saying? For a simple fact, this is the main reason why I can't. Nobody really feared LeBron. Let's be honest. Even Shaquille O'Neal have said it. Nobody really feared him. They respect him as a basketball player, and even more so outside of what he does as a basketball player. But on the court, nobody really feared him. With Michael Jordan, even with Kobe, basketball player feared them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, basketball player feared them. I don't even say basketball player even fear AI. And I'm not even saying AI is a better player than LeBron. No, not by any means. I'm just saying that LeBron James is just not feared. It's just he's a great player, and I think he will have a better career than Kobe. But like I said, I will say this: I'll take Kobe 9 times out of 10 before I take LeBron. Does that make sense? You should piss off JxmyHighroller because he's a big LeBron stan.
This is so fucking stupid. Now, clearly, this is referring to LeBron James.
Yep,
to which I genuinely ask this fan, and fans who think like this, do you really think LeBron's career hasn't been great?
It still is great.
Really?
He beat, he beat the record. That's a fantastic accomplishment. He beat Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record. That is a fantastic accomplishment.
Possible that we can celebrate any ring that any player wins at any time? Or has the bar been established so high that if you aren't three-peating, it isn't truly greatness? Alright everyone, new rule. No celebrating rings or titles or MVPs or big or small successes anymore. We are only celebrating three-peats. Dirk's ring wasn't great. The bum only won.
No, Derek. No, that is the greatest. I'll honestly say this is one of the, if not the greatest NBA run of all time. Swept the NBA champion of LeBron of the Lakers. And I was pissed too. Beat the young Thunder and beat the heavy power Miami Heat. I think that is one of the best, if not the best, NBA playoff run of all time, the 2011 Mavericks.
In 21 years. Boston's ring in 08, worthless. Raptors in 2019, bums.
Excellent.
Bucks in 2021, Giannis and the gang, bums. We don't celebrate that. Get that out of here. I just can't believe some fans actually think like this. I mean, according to this logic, no one in the entire NBA right now should be celebrated. We need to drop this whole rings or bust discourse altogether. It's just silly.
And it's a bad faith
argument to discredit really awesome players. In fact, this same fan goes on to share posts celebrating the greatness of players like Damian Lillard and John Stockton, who've never won a ring. And most ironic of all, this fan goes on to say that the '89 Cleveland Cavaliers were the greatest team in franchise history. Literally describing a team that was bounced out of the first round of the playoffs as the greatest.
Yeah,
so
that's
not
stupid.
only is this line of thinking flat out wrong, it's disingenuous. A player doesn't need to pull off the greatest feat in the history of the game to be great. Greatness comes in many different shapes and forms.
True.
And apparently, so do takes on the NBA. And unfortunately, that's all the racking my brain can handle in one sitting. But y'all know the drill. Leave a comment with your hottest NBA take. The hotter, the better. Or worse. Hope you all enjoy it. And as always, until next time.
Alright, that was another great video by JxmyHighroller. Some, like most of these I agree with, few I disagree with, but overall, like I say, he had an excellent take. He I will say he is one of the best YouTuber, when it comes to basketball content. He's certainly not my favorite. They'll go with Johnny Arnett, though I don't like to compare one or the other. But I can't deny JxmyHighroller is a brilliant YouTuber. What you guys think of the video? Let me know coming out below. Like, subscribe to your boy. You can check out my creative video down here. Peace, love, rock and roll.